Welcome to Persephone's Tavern.
Welcome back to Ivila, everyone. I am your DM, Trevor Trent, joined as always, Hayden Poindexter,
Galil Oremender,
Austin Boyette,
Krisk Ul'Tarkas,
Nick Lloyd,
Yuriael Gloomraven,
and Andrew Goebel.
Asimir Ashford. Hey, it's good to be back.
Very good to be back.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
I feel like
tired. Got a time.
Yeah.
I respect the grind. Okay, we can jump right into the recap if you want. Last we left off, the party awoke rested at the chapel of the Tricordate after the long day they had each experienced arriving into the town of Dragon's Breath. They shared a quick breakfast with Abbot Christopher before setting out into the town to pursue various interests. Along the way, they were distracted by a sudden burst of fire coming from a nearby blacksmith shop. Deciding to check it out, they discovered an outdoor smithy with a complex furnace designed to manufacture steel rope. This innovation in metalworking was still new and bewildering to watch. Among the diverse crew, the party met a young dwarf woman, discovered to be a distant cousin of Galil's, Galil Oremender. Though she didn't recognize Galil, he wished to learn more about her, and so offered to stay there while the rest of the group carried on. To him, she seemed to be plagued by misfortune despite her respectable skill as a smith. When she mentioned some of her crew went missing during some field work, he was eager to help. Meanwhile, Yuriael visited the town's orphanage. There he learned that the orphan issue was worse than he thought, and it seemed that the orphanage was already over capacity. Determined to help still, he returned to Krisk and Asimir with a plan. They would return to the spider cave and liberate the cavern in the name of the orphans. Though both thought the plan questionable, Krisk was intrigued, and Asimir refused to go back. While the young wizard went to town to see Hrogrash off, Yuriael and Krisk made some quick preparations and returned to the cave. Everything seemed fine at first as they backtracked through the dark tunnel. They soon found themselves at the precipice of the spider den. Big spiders scurried out of the fringes of their meager torchlight. While deciding how to begin, they were suddenly made aware of a giant spider stalking them from above. It lunged at them both as they barely retreated back into the narrow tunnel. Emboldened, Krisk raced back out to attack, but the spider was ready and waiting. With a single vicious bite, Krisk fell limp and became raveled in spider silk. In a burst of instinct, Yuriael raced after the spider, leapt into the air, and used his weight combined with Krisk's to pull him free. Yuriael dragged the dying half-orc to safety before using some limited medical knowledge to bring him back from the brink. Defeated, Yuriael hitched a ride back into town, reuniting with Asimir moments after his meeting with Hrogrash. Together again, they rode the rest of the way back to the chapel, where a waiting Galil saw to healing Krisk's wounds and informed the rest of the group of the quest he had accepted from Claudia. And that is where we pick up.
For now,
I'm gonna put the kids in the cave.
we got a night quest.
Oh yeah. So we're back at the chapel.
You just woke up, right?
I wish.
Oh, you're still passing out.
No, we healed you back up.
Yeah. I shit my pants.
All right, anything you guys need to do before you head back down to the second tier?
Yeah, I think we're more or less prepared. So how long do you think it took us to get me all healed up and everything? What time of day is it?
I mean, it was the end of the day. It's going to be sunset now.
Perfect timing. So now we have to go up into the mountains?
We have to go meet Claudia at Ogre's Rest, and then she's going to show us the passage to the mine on the north side of town.
I'd like to actually have a successful plan for one, so y'all lead the way.
Oh,
Well,
I shall follow.
want to stand here for your and the plans?
I figured you all...
No, I'm with you. I'm here now. I already broke my ties.
I do say I need to make a quick stop in town. There's a specific set of tools I need to grab just in case.
Is it thieves' tools?
You son of a bitch. You found me out.
It's a couple of those orphans.
You don't have any money, do you?
I got 8 gold.
Thought they took it all.
I believe I'll take the rest of the party and we'll go eat dinner at Ogre's Rest, and I'll buy Claudia dinner because I'd like to pick her brain a little bit more about this curse that's befallen her. So you go run and get your tools, and we'll be having dinner at the Ogre's Rest before we make our way out to the mines.
Perfect.
So, using the lift, I'm assuming you guys are using the lift. So
We'll always be
keeping track.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys fork up, take the lift. That cuts down the time like always. It only takes you about 20 minutes to get back down to the second tier and back towards Ogre's Rest. Nick, you said you were looking for a tool. What kind of tools are you looking for?
I need some thieves' tools.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Perfect. And maybe whatever this world's version of a chessboard is. 14 investigation check.
Okay. With little difficulty, kind of pulls you away for about 5 minutes from the rest of them as you handle it. But along the way, you find a couple of little shops. You even actually stop at a little hardware store that's adjacent to Claudia's blacksmithing shop to get your thieves' tools. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Because as you go in there and you start describing what you need, you quickly realizes that these aren't your standard hardware that you need.
Nice. I got a 18 persuasion check. I say, look, I in my line of work, oftentimes I need to get in places the average man doesn't. I hunt criminal scum. This is for the good cause.
All right. Okay, I think I know what you're driving at. And he goes to his little hardware drawer. He's got all these bolts and nuts and different kinds of stuff racked together. And he has this little like carving that's in the wood of the shelving. There's like 4 little circular emblems that you see all over this shelf. But he goes to one specifically and he presses it and it like goes in a little bit and it slides an extra drawer out. And you see he pulls like this little, like an envelope, like this little cloth envelope. It has a little bit of a jingle to it as he picks it up and he slides it over to you.
Back from his roguish days.
I locked my keys in the
And
leg.
he uses some form of thieves' cant to communicate an asking price for it.
I
know.
I don't know thieves can. I'm currently a ranger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see him. He's kind of looking at you expectantly.
I look at him doing those hand motions and I say, you know, I see that sometimes, but I still haven't quite figured it out myself yet. Maybe I can figure out what it all means from you one day.
25 gold pieces.
Ooh! Well, you see, sir.
Very poor.
He, as you say, he says, "No, I don't see," and he like quickly sleight of hands it back across the table.
He's blind.
And acts like it was never there.
You seem like a man of fine culture and taste. And I grab him into my pack and pull out these nice bottles of whiskey I have. And I say, these have got to be worth something to you. I mean, the stuff's good. Take a sample. And I let him take a sip.
Where did he get those?
I think he bombed from Ogre's Rest before catching fire.
Yeah, it was 10 silver.
For that, they're probably not worth anything.
I want to try and get him to drink some.
He says, "I don't know what you're driving at, but it's not going to work."
You don't like a free drink?
I like a free drink, but that's not what this is.
Then take one. Take a drink. I just slide the bottle over. Look, you keep that bottle in good faith. I only have about 7 gold on me right now. That's all I got. That's all I got. But I will leave you an IOU for another 25 gold, and the 7 gold can be an upfront thing. I'm a stand-up guy. You can ask everyone around. The red mask is the real deal.
Sure. He slides the bottle across and sets it down underneath the counter somewhere. And he reaches back into his little compartment and grabs one of those envelopes, and he pulls out 2 lockpicks, slides them across to you. That's about all that's gonna buy you.
Perfect.
All right.
I will return. What is your name, good sir?
Name's Evan.
I reach out and shake his hand. Yuriael.
Sure. He shakes it.
Very progressive name. Evan.
Yeah.
It's EVI.
Just took it back a few centuries.
It's like a little tilde above the end.
Yeah.
And he,
So we'll say the way that's gonna work is they work just like thieves' tools, but they break once you use them.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, and I still owe him 25 gold.
You don't owe 25 gold.
Oh.
If you want, he gave you part of a thieves' toolkit at a discount. So he took your 7 gold and gave you like a consumable version of the kit.
I gotcha. Even better.
One or
Great
two?
quality.
2, yeah. So you have 2 shots of thieves' tools action basically. Sorry. Until you have enough money to buy an actual kit.
your lock picking's up high enough.
Yeah. I'm proficient at least.
Let's get some real money.
We're about to get some. Dude.
As for the gaming set, I mean, we could just say for the sake of brevity, you found that easy enough. I think it's what, like 10 silver in PHP.
He has no gold.
I got 95 copper now.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're pretty well. I mean, 95 copper. My machinery set.
You should player for it.
But
Yeah, let's have,
player for the set.
let's have a whole dragon check.
Yeah, we'll narrate it turn by turn.
That's okay.
On the way down,
Dragon Rider
Two.
5.
on the way down to Ogre's Rest, I want to be sure to talk to the whole party and let them know that the person we're going to meet is Galil Oremender, and she is not aware of my last name. I like to keep it that way. So if you could not mention my last name, that'd be great.
You know, I don't even think I knew what your last name was until just now, so would have been good by me.
I will not spill your beans.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Why the secrecy?
Yes, why the secrecy?
Wouldn't she be happy to see a family?
Well, you see, I left Med Spine about 300 years ago before I was a cleric. My past isn't quite as pristine as my present. So, for the time being, I would like to make amends with my family, but they have not yet been made.
How old is this Claudia?
Much younger. She's 80, I believe.
Could be that her past is also not too pristine.
Well, I don't know.
Well, it can change in a matter of 300 years. I mean, yeah, but
Many of my kind don't make it to 80 years.
I was about to say mine only made it to about 45.
That's nothing.
Still more than enough time for mistakes.
Yeah, not that I don't believe she's perfect, but I plan to help her before I let her know who I actually am.
Have it your own way.
Thank you, Chris.
So,
I guess I just make my way back to the party.
Yeah,
I was assuming
the,
we're already eating.
the 90 copper was not enough.
Yeah, no.
Good as that.
You could probably sign up for like a like monthly parcel service where they will send you one piece a month
At a time. That might be cool.
Cool idea.
Yeah, I stay on the move though.
But yeah, you guys make your way down to the second tier and meander along the side of the bluff until you get back to the road that leads to the Ogre's Rest Tavern. And so you guys go back down into the basement pub, push open that door over the creek, and this place is a much different atmosphere than it was. Well, I guess about similar. It's a little bit busier than it was the night before. But beyond that, it's just as it was. It's a lively atmosphere. There's a little bit of conversation happening. The bar is busy. And give me a perception check as you guys come in there.
6.
11.
23.
23. 20. Yuriael and Krisk, as you guys are peering around, looking for Claudia, or looking through this crowd of dwarves, and sitting like up on the bar, you recognize that distinctive like up and then down ponytail that she's got, just kind of like swinging around and jostling. And she's kind of hunched over the edge of the bar, just seems to be in her own sort of situation.
I nudge Galil and say, "Hey, there she is."
I'll lead out and go towards her and say, Claudia, I know you met briefly earlier, but this is the rest of my party. This is Krisk, Yuriael, and Asimir.
Hello.
Howdy.
Greetings.
I think we'll be plenty enough to help you with your problem. Guide us to that mine.
Absolutely. Just stopping here for a drink real quick.
Have you eaten?
It is in the process.
Let's eat a meal, make sure we're full and rested.
She kind of looks around. It's kind of crowded at the bar. And she says, "Okay, well, follow me. I'll grab a table." And she picks up her plate and kind of waddles over there, hops up.
Claudia, you seem very popular around here.
Well, why she's like that?
I've just...
She was sitting alone at the bar.
I thought she was like sitting on the bar before crowning. I misread that.
She was just alone on a full bar, basically.
I'm used to getting ran out of towns, so...
It's just through perspective.
Yeah, it's much different for someone like
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's not so bad for dwarves, but I mean, I'm not that way. I mean, she looks at you or anything like that.
What do you mean you're a guy?
But yeah, have a seat. What you guys ordering? So stay away from the cauliflower.
Stay away from the car.
I'll have the cauliflower.
That's your. I don't know. Well, that's one way to spend your evening.
I'll order the same thing we ordered before, the Dorish meat and potatoes with strong ale.
I don't know the menu. I'll just go with the same thing.
I don't know where it comes from, but it is salty.
Salty's good.
It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
they serve you up, feed you. It's very loud in here, but you guys get this meal.
I was just kidding about the cauliflower. I want mutton.
What? So we eat quickly. I eat my food as quickly as possible. I'm ready to get. While we're eating, I asked Claudia, could you, my friend here, Yuriael and Krisk, are also sort of hunting this curse that they've heard tell about, and I heard you bring up a curse. Maybe you might have something of interest for them.
Yes. We've heard tell from... Actually, you were the one that heard it, right?
Yes, I ran into this local hunter, and he said tale of a cursed woods or cursed mountains up north, higher in the elevation. And, you know, it could be bandits, or it could be wildlife, or it could be possibly these roving wild orcs that me and my friend Krisk here are in search of. So I just wanted to know if maybe you knew any more about that, or if possibly there was some correlation.
Well, as the rumor goes, the hunters have been coming back with less and less game, and they're finding signs that other hunters or something is killing the game and leaving their corpses. That's how they're discovering. They're not finding live meat, they're finding the remains.
So, are the remains devoid of meat at all? Or are they purely killed for sport?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not one of the hunters, but that's the rumor, is that something's poaching.
Well, so
Like, I'm for one don't really believe in curses or anything like that, so...
What do you think happened to your crew? You're not worried that whatever curse befell those animals could have befell your crew?
I don't know, I'm more worried it's like a cave-in or something.
Yeah.
Working with metal's dangerous, working with metal underground, twice as dangerous, so...
Speaking of which, are we gonna need any kind of climbing equipment in this cave?
Theoretically, they should have tools there, but I brought a couple things in my bag.
Perfect.
Also, about how many people exactly are we trying to extract?
There's 3 of them.
3?
They're supposed to repair well, not even repair, just do a maintenance check on the lifts that go into the mines. Just make sure that the steel cables that will operate the lifts are still working good, and then come back. If they had to replace anything, it should have taken them a couple of days, tops.
And how long have they been gone at this point?
Almost a week.
A little,
Yeah, I'm getting
a
worried.
week in a cave, it's a lot of air, not a lot of food.
Pretty dim.
Let's make haste.
Yeah, probably best we do it as quickly as possible now that we know it's been about a week in a cave. How long have you known this crew?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of the greenhorn on the crew, so 6 months for some of them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's get going. If I slowly slip from Scottish into a Russian accent. Yeah, I hate it.
Scots-Slavian.
So, yeah. Scots-Slavian. The match made in heaven. Okay, so she leads you guys through towards the mine, which is on the east side of town, northeast side of town, really, which has you going along the road and passing through the other 2 bluffs. Begin to near where this mining operation is set up on the east side of town. It's set up on the bottom tier through the ravine, and it's built right into the side of the northmost bluff. It goes underneath the bluffs back towards the town. And as you come around the corner, heading east and then eventually back north along the road, you pull into this large quarry-like area. Maybe quarry is not the right word. It's like a landscaping company where they have piles of minerals and things set up everywhere where you can grab whatever sort of fill you need for whatever project.
Gravel pit.
Yeah, like a gravel pit. Thank you. And you see these piles of sorted minerals and rock, and as well as a horse-drawn wagon parked just outside of the entrance of the mine. The entrance is a cave opening with a wooden wall built across it, and barbed wire lines that go across the top of the wall, blocking this gap that's above it. So it's not filling up the whole cavern entrance, just kind of building a partition across it. You also see a single door that seems to be the only entry into the cave. And Claudia is just leading the way towards it.
Did we walk here?
Yeah.
How long did it take?
Maybe half an hour, maybe a little bit more. 45 minutes, probably about right.
And there was a horse-drawn carriage there?
Yeah, but no horses.
No, there's horses.
Yeah.
Can I check the condition, the status of the horses?
They appear to be healthy from a distance, so you move up close.
Yeah. I'll observe them, and because if those miners have been here for a week and the horses are still attached to the carriages.
Yeah, I want to ask Claudia, does that carriage look familiar?
No, those aren't our horses.
Simple enough.
Yeah, let me check on them horses.
Make a perception check.
3.
They look like horses.
I look over at you.
Just as I suspect.
I look over at you, Krisk, and
They're not zebras.
I say, this is potentially a horse we could fill with alcohol for the spider. Set it on fire.
Not going to happen.
Could very well kill the spider.
Hold on. You plan on filling a horse with alcohol?
Don't.
Some kind of flammable or explosive substance.
One calamity at a time.
We'll talk about this later. I feel like that's a law that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
There is no law.
This idea keeps coming up. It's like beating a dead horse filled with gasoline.
I want to approach the horse and carriage and take a look on the inside and see if is it a covered wagon or I just want to look over the side and see if there's anything noticeable like equipment or weaponry or anything like that.
Get your perception check.
Just the horse and wagon would be worth a lot of money.
Oh, crit. Oh,
That's spicy.
The carriage is in very good condition. And you see where they're like every little bit of hardware that's been replaced and maintained. This cart's been used a lot. Like it's got a lot of mileage. The horses seem fine. All the tack seems up to well maintained. In the back of the cart, all you see are like these large burlap sacks that you might fill with grain or something, and then a bunch of rope.
or gems. I say, well, whoever's cart this does belong to took very good care of it. It's not our place really to rifle through their belongings. We don't know that they've done anything wrong, so I'm going to approach the cave and see if we can just yell in or I'm going to open the door.
As we're approaching, I want to ask Claudia. I want to say, Claudia, does the town own the mines?
Not the town itself. There's a mining company that runs it.
And as far as you know, they haven't commissioned any work from any source besides you.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be any of my business. They commissioned us to maintenance the lifts once every 4 months or so.
It's possible that these people are meant to be here.
They very well could be other workers or owners or a slew of other people.
Let's enter this with a cool head.
I'll approach the door and just see if it's open. It is. Open it. And then
It is. I open it.
open it or open it. Cast light on my warhammer and stick it forward and up in front of my head and make a perception check and see what I see in the mouth of the cave.
All right. So you come in with the light emanating off of your hammer, you said? Yeah, my war hero hammer. Creates this nice healthy glow of white light as you come inside, and you immediately see a minecart rail leading away from you into the dark on the right side of the wall as you come into a 15 by 15, almost perfectly cut out tunnel with wood beams that support the walls. Very typical mine setup. Immediately to your left as you come in, about 10 feet along the wall, you see a wooden door that sits ajar, a key hanging in the lock, and a sign above the door that says shipping carved into a wooden plaque. Before the door you see these large piles of gypsum powder that are near the front of the cave entrance.
Hey, Claudia, do you know the location of this shaft your team was supposed to be maintaining?
She says, yeah. She kind of points into the distance in the dark and says, it's pretty much just a straight shot. You head all the way down the tunnel and you'll hit the lift.
And you've been here before?
Yeah, a couple of times. It's been a while since I did a maintenance check, but...
I suggest you lead the way.
Sure.
I'll step out and walk side by side with her with the light in ahead.
I'll walk behind.
Follow.
I guess I'm there too.
Bring up the rear.
Yeah. My last cave experience kind of left me a little questioning.
You?
Claudia, are there spiders in this cave or?
Your guess would be as good as mine.
I would guess yes.
Well, now I'm thinking about it.
That's out there.
Give me a perception check, everybody.
15.
14.
19.
18.
As you guys move ahead into this, what is essentially a chamber that opens up, you hear the sound of scratching and scraping down the passage to your right as you come in. That said, the room that you walk into, you see a carefully structured chamber with wood beams supporting the walls of naturally carved stone and earth. You see the cart trail that you've been following meander through a series of switch tracks that sends the track lines into 3 matching passages. One on the left, one on the right, and the one straight ahead that Claudia said to follow. She motions ahead, indicating that the direction of the lift is straight ahead.
I think, hold on. What is that gnashing and gnawing I hear?
I don't know. I heard it as well. I want to enter the left tunnel and see if it's any louder.
No, it's quieter in there.
Out this way.
Chris, as you walk down that third tunnel a little ways, do you have any sort of light for yourself?
Just dark vision.
Dark vision? That's good enough. You see that the tunnel that you're walking down extends straight for as far as your dark vision can see.
Yeah.
But all along the right side of the wall, you see these little 5-foot tunnels cut into it. Just one opening after another.
Just strip mine.
And at the very edge of your dark vision on the minecart track is a minecart. You see it's got some stuff in it.
I will proceed further. And
Yuriael, in the meantime, as he's walking away, Yuriael and Galil, what were you saying about?
I asked Yuriael if he might be able to, hone in on where that clawing sound was coming from. Yeah, I know he's good at tracking creatures and humans, so
Make a survival check if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. 21.
Very good. So you start moving down the other passage, which is the one that was to the right, where you heard the sound. And as you get closer, do you have any light for yourself? Because you're starting to get out of the range of the Warhammer at this point.
I say here, Yuriael takes the
light-
light, and I point to one of his arrows, and I cast light cantrip on it, so it dissipates from being Claudia. But now he's got like
That's perfect. And as a moment later, as you do that, you hear the sound of a flint box, and then Claudia lights a hooded lantern.
perfect. Claudia, I think
You guys have some focused light.
I'd say if we also need, I guess can also pull out my book, kind of wave my hand over the book a little bit, and just as the letters start to glow, I just kind of pluck them out and just throw them in the air, cast dancing lights with like little sigils glowing around, if need be.
Sure. That'll save my oil. She blows out its tool.
I feel like I ruin a lot of this thing.
What color is this one?
I don't know. You should
It's
probably
probably like a soft blue.
soft blue. At least lead with that utility next time.
How much light does that grant?
It's
10-foot globulus,
Yeah.
but you can arrange
I
it in
could
a way
move
that
around. I could make a
he can light this entire room with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
make a nice thing.
In my head, I'm picturing like this old like underground subway terminal with these blue.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Eerie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll say you cast light on this arrowhead. Is it?
Yeah, the arrowhead.
Cool. And it gives him like this little beacon of light in front of him. And as you're moving out, you begin to hear the subtle sounds along with the scraping and the scrambling. Krisk, give us an investigation check.
Whoops.
What's cool about that arrow now is you can shoot it and it'd be like a 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
track.
the minecart, as you approach it, you see it has a hooded lantern inside of it with a flask next to it. It's just a little, I don't say a flask, like not like an alcohol flask, like a little jar. And a climber's kit.
I'll take all three.
Okay.
And doing one final look around the end of this tunnel. Does the minecart end where the tunnel ends?
No, there's probably 15 feet left of tunnel. Like you get to the end of, by the time you're to the minecart, you can see the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And the rail stops at the end of the last passage, and you just see that's where the end of this tunnel is at this point in development.
All right, so looking back and seeing blue lights, I'll quicken my pace and make my way back down to the main antechamber down there.
Now back to Yuriael. You hear the sound of scraping and squeaking and scrambling and scratching. Give me a perception check.
21.
Okay. So as you kind of creeping up closer and closer, letting the light tell you little bits of information as you near, you eventually see, you come to the very end of this tunnel, which, like the one that Krisk is at, has this row of rail that goes all the way down to the end of the tunnel, passages along the right side wall. You come all the way down to where you're hearing the sounds, and you see a collapsed tunnel, a pair of boots sticking out from the bottom of the rubble, and a swarm of rats that are cleaning the bones.
Grody.
Can you roll initiative for me, please?
Yeah.
9.
3.
He got a 4.
Yeah, that is a 13.
So yeah, Nick, you're actually gonna go before the swarm.
Great. I love hearing that.
Good.
Oh, all right.
And
We'll just pretend we didn't hear that.
Yeah.
some ROUSs.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to, attempt to shoot one.
With your light arrow?
24 to hit.
That's a hit.
1 out of 30 rats.
And then I'm going to 5 damage.
Okay.
So you see the arrow shoots into the swarm and like skewers 2 of the rats,
Rats! There's rats!
Just like that.
Just like,
Yeah, you get about halfway back down the hallway, and you guys can all hear him shuffling back down at a quickened pace. And you would have all seen, like, even if you didn't see the rats at first, he's holding his light on his bow, and eventually you see him send the light sailing to the end of the hallway and then book it.
I fear Yuriael may have found his prey.
They keep on pace and they move after you. Make a bite, and it's probably gonna miss 11 to hit.
God messes.
All right, so you see he's running down this hallway like, oh fuck, and he almost before you have time to react to it, you hear the squeaking come out of the darkness as rats start crawling up the back of his legs and shit. He's like swatting them off as you guys get closer. That's gonna bring it back around to Andrew.
Oh, so see all these rats start coming out after Yuriael. I'm just going to say, Yuriael, step back real quick, and I'm going to prepare ready to action to do ice knife at the swarm of rats.
Oh, nice. What's the trigger?
As soon as Yuriael would be out of range of the AoE explosion effect, which is just 10 feet.
What's the range on
So it's
spell?
5-foot radius, so 10-foot diameter,
Okay, gotcha.
and the range is 90 feet.
Nice. Basically, if you can take a 5-foot step, it'll trigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to...
So yeah, you see he starts casting the spell, and little particles of ice begin to gather in your hand as you gather the energy for throw this little shard of ice. Brings it to Hayden. Galil.
So I will use my 25 movement to move towards Yuriael. I'll actually stay 10 feet away, and I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the swarm of rats.
That's going to be his wisdom, right?
Yep.
13. Fail. And it took a little bit of damage, so it's going to do
The D12. Oh. Back damage. That was...
just like in this cave with the swarm of spiders. You see he comes up, channels this energy through his holy symbol, and you just hear this crack of a bell as half the swarm bursts into black flame and just
Be gone, vermin.
they fall into like a heap and just crackle with energy.
I like that.
The strength of the tricord flows through me.
That's some fucking spooky shit.
Uriel, back to you.
I'm gonna hit it with my sword. This will be a 15 to hit.
That does hit.
I'm gonna do 5 damage, and then I'm going to move back another 30 feet.
And then trigger.
Well, an AoE gets triggered. AoE triggers and Ice Knife triggers simultaneously. 19 to hit on the bite.
Just misses.
Does it?
No.
I was insane. He's slippery.
And dexterity characters,
Right. No, that hits.
7 piercing damage.
Yeah, they got that protein up in them already.
But Ice Knife goes. Go for your top roll.
So just like this dirty, dust-filled dagger of ice just goes... that's a 13 plus 6, so 19.
Hits.
That's going to be a d8 of piercing damage. It's going to be 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then it needs to make a
Dex save.
14 save.
14. It makes it.
Alright, then it takes half of 2d6 of cold damage as the ice knife explodes into a cloud of frost.
Excellent.
Half of 3.
Still some rats left.
Alrighty.
That's gonna bring it to Austin.
Yeah.
Krisk. And you kill the last couple rats, or
Well, did I make it to the antechamber?
I mean, you separated. Yeah.
I picked up my pace before he's actually attacked. But
I mean, we'll say you would need a dash just to get to the rats.
okay.
But you could get back to the chamber where Asimir and Claudia are with your move.
I'll do that. Well, I'll just dash to get within 10 feet of the rats.
Okay. That brings it back to Asmarius.
Okay, well, after that, I don't want to use all my spell slots, so I'm just going to kind of lift a glyph off my book and just reach through and cast Chill Touch on the rats.
Oh, nice.
So just do that, and it's going to be a range attack. What was it, 13? 7 plus 6?
Hit.
Okay, and it is a d8 of necrotic damage, as I just grab and strangle one rat with my little skeleton hand.
Bring it straight down on me. Press him to the floor.
Oh yeah, just like what do they call it, whatever. It's going to be 6 necrotic damage.
You choke the life, and they just turn dead and shrivel up like they went withered from rot super fast.
Little rats were dying and get
You hear Claudia says, and you said his thing was creepy.
Well, we all have our little quirks, don't we? Some say magic in general is creepy.
Other than Uriel getting a nice bite there from several of those rats, you guys come out of that more or less unscathed.
You probably need to get that checked out, actually. For the whale rats.
Galil has a sort of an insight, as earlier Asimir told him some of his family only lived to be 45 or 50 years old. He realizes that Asimir's lifespan is closer to the rat than of his own.
That's funny. That's pretty fucking heady.
And then he looks at the rat, and then he looks at Asimir.
I want to grab the hooded lantern and offer it to anyone who doesn't have a light source.
Just will be swirling the
Yeah.
glyphs around very
How about Yuriael? Need a hooded lantern?
Could definitely use one.
Claudia checks to you and she says, are you okay, Yuriael? You seem like you got hurt. What did you find down there?
Unfortunately, I think I found at least one of your companions. At least, I hope it's not them, but looks like some part of the passageway fell down and collapsed on some unfortunate soul. The rats were feasting on it.
She has this grave look on her face, and she heads down the direction to go check out the corpse.
I'll follow.
I followed.
Just this hooded lantern to like my belt.
You could. It's got like a ring on the top of it. It shoots light in a cone, so it's only going to point light at where the lantern is sitting. So it's right here. It's most effective being held in front of you.
While you're moving, it's probably not going to be effective.
Because all that light's going to be doing is dancing around with every step you take. But if you don't feel like carrying it, you definitely can attach it to a belt or a backpack or whatever.
Do you recognize these feet, Claudia?
She goes up to it. She went first, and by the time you catch up, she's kneeling down to the boots, and she's kind of got her hand up on her face, and there's an awful odor, like the dude's rotting.
A lot of bone showing.
But she looks real close, and then you see as you guys catch up to her, she kind of releases this sigh of relief, and she goes, "Okay, it's nothing. It couldn't be then."
Well, it's still awful. My prestige the odor gone.
Is there any way I could use my survival skills to try to see how long the body has been there?
Sure. Roll advantage.
16.
Okay. What was your first roll? Just curious.
13 plus 3.
Okay, it's pretty good. You kind of notice why she's got the relief. You look closer, you see that
On a meta-toe ring.
the flesh is full of insects that are devouring on the meat too. And you both notice that the bugs that are living there wouldn't have started showing up until a week, maybe more.
Okay.
So this body's been dead a lot longer than the time frame that she established for her crew.
It's possible.
That was already.
Yeah, it's possible that they saw this body down here, but it's also very strange that no one has come and claimed the body. Nothing has been done.
Can I look around again and just take another moment to look around the room and see if I missed anything?
Back in the main chamber or in this hallway where the dead guy was?
It's this hallway where the dead guy is. Like, I'm gonna look, see where the rock broke at, try and figure out why. Just observe my surroundings completely. Because that's kind of, that's what I like to do, is be fully aware of my surroundings.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Be sure to look overhead for spiders.
While he's doing that, I want to gather some rubble from around and sort of build up a effigy / complete his burial.
Finish covering him.
Yeah.
Got an 18 investigation.
18. The body's really decomposed. All you can gather for certain, without digging out the tunnel and getting the dude out, is that this collapse was caused internally. That it fell through from the inside. You don't know if they were trying to dig a tunnel too quickly and didn't support it properly, or if it was just like a freak thing. You really can't tell. But you know for sure that whatever caused the collapse was likely caused by the person in some way.
I see.
I don't like tunnels. I don't like caves.
Can we tell a race?
But just the feet? That might be.
You can try. Roll a medicine check.
I'm looking specifically to see if it's dwarf. 15.
Yeah, could be dwarf.
So with that in mind, knowing it's a dwarf, but once I finish piling up the rocks and the effigy, I say a very old prayer from before I was a cleric that I remember from Bahamut's Spine, just like a local dwarf prayer, and turn to Claudia and say, I pray that your crew has not met a similar end, but I feel like we definitely need to push our way further.
So, in the rest of this route, It leads to a cave-in. There's no other exits.
On this side, yeah. It's just like the tunnel you were in, except for the cave-in.
Well, there was nothing left, so maybe we'll go straight forward.
Yeah, where she said the shack was. So I'll go with Claudia and go down that path she pointed to originally.
As you guys go back, you guys make it back to the crossroad chamber, start heading south, and Claudia makes a point to mention, she says it's too quiet. I feel like there should be more miners around here. And she's like motioning to like tools that are just laying out in the open.
I say from the state of that body, it seems like there's probably not been anyone here for a while.
It's also possible that there were more bodies than the one we discovered. That could be on the other side.
They could still be alive though if it was a cave-in.
Her crew wouldn't be on the other side of that cave-in if that body's been decomposing for over a week now.
No, I don't think it's any of her crew.
So as you continue on, this next passage is the same as the others at a glance. You see Claudia points ahead to a, I assume you're guiding your lights down this
absolutely.
hallway. They can go up to 60 feet away from you, right?
Just kind of keep them circulating around the party.
So as you line the walls with these dancing lights as you go, Claudia points ahead at the end of the tunnel and says, "There's the lift right over there." She says, and you see ahead of you a minecart at the end of this tunnel, loaded up with a spool of steel rope, various tools, and a duffel bag. Now, as you guys move closer, this doorway is like, it's almost like a wooden garage door in a way. It swings open from the center with these large wooden doors that cover the entire opening of the lift area. And just at the very end of it is this minecart that's full of tools. And she says, well, there's the gear, but now where are the guys?
And the lift is at the top.
Yeah, the lift is at the top. All our tools are at the top. This eerie silence envelops you all as you start to feel the loneliness in here. When suddenly you hear a whisper ahead, an otherworldly mixture of hissing and clinking that is reverberating through the tunnel.
I'll pull out my warhammer, or my great sword.
It's not just me, right? Everyone else hears that?
Yes, I heard it. Can't be anything good.
So I'd like to make a perception check.
Something foul lurks below.
I don't think it's a chicken. I got a 12.
20.
Space chick.
I got a 7.
3.
Galil, you are the only one that notices it, but whenever you focus in on that clicking, it sounded like it came from the third tunnel down on the corridor that you were on. So for where you are now, I guess it would be about 5 feet right behind you down that corridor.
I hold my hand up in the air for everyone to stop, and then I point it back in the direction that I heard the clicking come from, and I try to whisper to Yuriael and Krisk to go check that out.
Yeah.
Silently.
I'd offer to sneak ahead and scout it out.
How far away is it?
Or sneak behind.
Well, you guys don't hear it once he tells you. I mean, you can't really tell how far away. You can just hear that it's echoing through that third corridor.
I'm gonna crash down against the wall and attempt to sneak back to where he pointed.
You don't have your hooded lantern lit, do you?
I'm gonna cover the hood.
Oh, it shines against the floor.
What are you going to use for light?
Do you want to fish in?
So, you move back to the front of the tunnel, and you dim your light, and you can't see down the tunnel
At all?
It's dark down there.
See? Yeah, I'll unhood the lantern, I guess.
So you shine this bright light down. It's this like, the way light bounces off things in the dark, and it's just this iridescent white beam that shoots down this long, thin corridor, and you get these cast shadows up the sides of the walls. You see about 30 feet down, there's a break in the wall where this shadow kind of overtakes it, and you think it could be like a secondary route back there, another passageway that branches off from that point. But the light continues and the path keeps going further on.
I'll just keep my focus since I don't have to depend on the light necessarily.
And the light from your lantern just at the entrance of the tunnel doesn't go all the way to the end, so you don't know how far it keeps going, but you can see where that first crossroad is.
Going to... How far out does the light from my lantern get me?
60 feet.
60 feet? Okay. I'm gonna go to that break where it like breaks off in the secondary path.
Okay.
I'll follow 15 feet.
No, 20 feet. So Chris goes in behind them. The rest of you wait in the hall. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like after the last incident where they got left alone.
No, we're fine.
I'll stay here for Claudia. You go.
They're close.
They possibly can use light.
Okay. You guys don't need light or anything. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with them.
Okay.
I'll just hold this with me.
So you bringing up the rear?
So you're going to move up to the cross section, Yuriael. I'm going to give you another perception check. As now you're standing in the middle, and depending on where you point your light, you can pretty much see almost 17. So you come up to this crossroads, and the cross section it creates isn't perfectly perpendicular. It goes off at an angle. So you see that the passage that's going to the right seems to go further away from you, and while the passage that goes to the left at the crossroads seems to go closer towards the lift at a diagonal. But you shine your light down the right one, and you can see all the way down to the end, and you see that it connects with the other two adjacent tunnels. You look back, and it's the same way. It connects all the way back to another adjacent tunnels. So from this point, all the tunnels on this corridor have been connected. Give me a perception check.
23.
Okay. So you notice that there's a clear difference in the quality of tunnel from the ones that are going straight across, like all the other tunnels in this mine, and this diagonal cross section that seems to have been dug out very hastily and does not have any sort of support structures in it whatsoever.
Oh shit.
While you're peering down the right tunnel, where it gets to the next cross section of the next tunnel, you see this gaping hole in the center of the floor. You can't see down it from where you are. It's about 15 feet from you, but you see like where the light just dissipates into this dark hole in the floor. And you look and you see there's another one at the end of the tunnel you're standing in too. Another just hole. It's like a collapsed cavern floor.
I don't like
It
that.
has a lot to take in, but you went to a point where you can see a lot, so. But the main takeaway is that there's a cross section of all these tunnels, and there are a bunch of holes that you can see, but have not yet checked out.
I want to keep maintaining a 15 feet distance between him and I.
Okay. Easy enough. From your perspective, you just see him down there kind of like, light goes one way and he's just looking, light goes another way, he's just looking, just taking it in.
We'll just go pulling up the rear, kind of get around Krisk, just kind of call out to Yuriael, and kind of simultaneously you would hear it inside of your own head as I'm also saying it out loud, but like, are you seeing anything?
Why am I hearing it in my head?
The same thing I just said.
Yeah, why?
Hey, message.
Did you use message? Yeah, I want to circle back to the party and relay what I've seen in this entranceway. I'd be like, guys, this cavern looks like it was hastily dug out, possibly not by tunnel workers. And there are holes in the ground that just looks like it's caved in there. I'm not real sure about this. I think there's something down here.
Well, we need to find it.
But we need to find people too. I mean, they obviously didn't use the elevator, right?
We should see what's at the bottom of the elevator.
Did you see any of the crew in there?
None.
So we have something that can dig through tunnels.
Not
As we
necessary.
see.
Maybe
Not
dig
necessary.
tunnels. I will check out the tunnels, but it's terrifying.
I'll do it as well. I'll go to the edge where the break was and look down that right tunnel, and I guess I see the same thing.
If you have some light, let's see.
Dark vision.
While they're doing that, me and Claudia are going to go to the lift and just like make sure it's in functioning order and stuff. So we're just checking on the gears and the mechanics of it in case we want to go down later.
Give me an investigation check with advantage.
Nice.
19.
So you overlook it real quick, and it looks like nothing's been done to the lift.
Still not operational.
Like, it's operational as far as you can tell, but it doesn't look like there's any like new components added to it. And Claudia confirms you're standing right there next to that mine cart. She says, "Yeah, this spool's fresh. They haven't taken a single foot off of it."
It certainly doesn't bode well. Let's wait and see what the other party digs up.
Chris, you go back into the tunnel and you look down. You see that gaping hole in the center of that cross section, which would be in the second tunnel, not the third at this point. Because, like I said, they're all connected now.
So, how far down until the pit in the ground?
Make a perception check. You move up to the edge of it.
I'm with him.
13.
Could I kind of pull up to and see if I can bring my lights and shoot them down the hole?
If you want to.
Yeah, I'll do it. They go about.
So it's really cramped in here, but you can meander around the tunnels to a point where, one of you can be on either side of the hole if you want to. Possibly crowded next to each other if you absolutely have to. But it's a 5-foot tunnel at the intersection, and there's a 5-foot hole in the center. So in that gap, there's no getting from one side to the other.
Without jumping.
Right.
How far down?
But you're looking down, you see his dancing lights go down into the hole, and you see that it goes all the way down about 60 feet.
Well, how far down until I get to the hole? If I were to walk from where I'm standing to the side of the hole.
You're at the hole.
10 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to go back, and are there wooden beams in the main corridor right there?
Even the subtunnels have wood in them, except for that cross section.
Can I attach a rope to myself and to one of the sturdy wooden beams at the corner of that?
Yeah, you could probably find a gap.
Okay. I want to do that. I got 50 feet of hempen rope, so I want to 10 feet down. I want to jump over the hole and go to...
And this is before letting Asimir put light in the hole? You just want to jump on down there?
No, over the hole. Up to the other side of the hole.
What's your strength score?
20?
Easy.
Yeah.
You don't even feel like you needed the rope. You're like, it was easy.
Just in case I didn't know if the floor was going to collapse.
Well, yeah, you just hop over to the other side.
Okay. I'm going to look down the other hole. There was a second hole.
You're on the same tunnel as the second hole.
Oh, it was on the other hole.
So there was one hole in the third tunnel, and there's another hole in the second tunnel.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
That you found. But you've looked into the one in the second tunnel, and
with nothing in this hole besides the hole.
Yeah.
This probably takes us to the same place that the lift would take us, I assume.
If that's the case, if we take the lift, it feels like a little bit of a safer route.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to hop back over, undo the rope, and put it back on my belt.
As they're approaching, as they're coming back and say, the lift appears operational, but it doesn't seem that any repairs have been done over it this past week.
Were they supposed to have been repairs done?
Yeah, this is what the crew was down here to do, was to fix this shaft. So the fact that there's been no work done makes me fear for what this crew has been doing for the past week.
And we took the same route from the town that they most likely would have taken, right?
Yeah, they're just direct route.
No signs of them. Well,
their gear's here.
Should we perform the repairs before we attempt to use it ourselves?
No, I'm not worried about that. There's a deck guy in the hallway. I want to get my men out of here.
I couldn't agree anymore. I think this is fine. I mean, it's pretty sturdy, right? Look at this.
Yes, but it makes no sense that they would be on the second tunnel, on the second floor. Because the lift was at the top, no maintenance has been done, a dead body would have been discovered up top, in which case they most likely would have reported back to town immediately.
Well, there's still that. They just have that horse and carriage outside.
Did you see anything down the holes?
Not that I could tell. They descend 50 or 60 feet.
I would wager those horses didn't belong to that man we found earlier, and they don't belong to the crew, and we haven't seen anyone in here yet, so...
Should we have like a call out? I mean, I'm pretty sure these walls could echo pretty far.
Yeah, but we already hear some otherworldly chirping and whispering. I don't know if we should call out to it.
Would my character know anything about what kind of creature we might be up against based on the voices I've heard and the digging signs and tunneling signs?
Purple.
You make a nature check.
Got our own map.
I got a feeling I know what it is. How big are those holes? I'd really hope it's not what I'm thinking. Nature? 21.
It sounded lot like
Secret tunnel, secret tunnel.
giant spider.
Again, with the spiders.
All right, so you guys reconvene together once again by the lift after having investigated the hallways a little bit and theorized on what this could be that is lurking in the darkness here. How do you guys want to proceed? You see this lift ahead of you. It's you come into this chamber. There's a wide shaft, and then the lift is suspended in the center of it, and there is a wooden platform that extends out from the edge of the hole just over about 1.5 feet so that you can make the step onto the lift platform. Beyond that, there are 4 steel ropes that hold on to the 4 corners of the lift, and they go up into a contraption that's up top that is operated by a hand-drawn winch attached to the lift itself.
So that means somebody would have to say.
Oh, it's on the...
No, you can lift
Oh,
it
on the
up.
lift. On the lift. Okay.
We're already here. We might as well clear the...
I mean, how do the steel ropes look? I mean, steel.
Yeah, me and Claudia checked the ropes. They look like they haven't been repaired, but they do look operational. So I think it should be safe to just say.
I'll go ahead and get on it.
He said, watch your step. There's a mini a minute fall.
I will say, if by any means we do go plummeting, I have a little bit of a fail-safe for that.
Awesome. Don't know what the hell that could be. Great, that's my fail safe on the way down.
Step onto this lift together. There's a sudden shift of the weight. Can I need a Constitution saving throw?
Ooh.
From everybody.
Con save? I'm stepping on... Oh, it's the lead. I see. About a 10.
7.
11.
11. Everyone peed.
The DC wasn't bad, but despite that, you guys all feel this lurch in your stomach as you guys... all the weight suddenly kind of puts a lot of tension and stretches, and you can see the bottom of that platform go down about 2 inches from the step-off point. And as that happens, Galil, you get it worse than everybody, and your stomach flips, and you just feel sickened, for a few moments or so. You feel like you could lose your lunch. But as you guys all get on there and get your feet settled, you hear the sound of tension and like the echo of reverberation through the cables, this pang sound that kind of echoes through it as you guys are, the weight is settling on the contraption, but
best not dolly. So I grab the winch and I start slowly letting us down.
you guys start going down, click, 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 click.
Flip my book.
I let them in on the fact that I think it's a spider, if I haven't already, that I heard.
You have them.
I say, hey, by the way, based off everything we've come across in this cave, I do believe it is a giant spider similar to the one that almost ate Krisk.
I'm good with
No, take me back up. Take me back up.
It would be awful timing if halfway down the spider attacked.
It's way easier to let us down than it is to drag you all back up.
Oh, God.
Don't you worry.
Well, as you,
I heard it whispering, so I've never heard a spider whisper.
Yeah, they do that. That's, I mean, come on.
So the lift arrives at the next chamber, and the doors swing open on the bottom just as they did on the shaft that you are at now, just on this time on the opposite side of the lift. So it's the same, you're still heading the same direction. As you come down, though, you notice that there are no rails on this level, but there are supplies piled up on the corner near the lift that look to be pieces of a rail project down the way. So it looked like they hadn't finished this setup yet, but we're going to at some point. Give me a perception check for everybody real quick.
Crit.
Nice.
18.
8.
6. So this, for all of you, this room looks almost identical to that first open chamber that you were in that had the crossroads. There's a path leading in front, there's a path to the left, and a path to the right. What you don't all notice, but what Galil and Asimir notice, is that there is a distinct dried blood trail that is going from the right side of the room and then streaks into the rightmost corridor. You also notice, Asimir, near your feet, bloodied pickaxes that are scattered about, signs of a struggle.
Oh, I swear, if this thing's a fucking spider.
I try to fall behind Claudia and nudge Yuriael and just point down to what I see without bringing it to Claudia's attention. Say we march onward. What were the names of your crew members, Claudia?
Well, there was Tarek, he was a human, nice guy. There was Saren, a gnome, real whiz with trinkets. awesome with hardware, and then there was a Moganzer, an elf.
Okay, you guys think we should just call out for heat?
No.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, just kind of pointing at the ground a little bit, might want to keep our vigilance ahead of us and wait to see if we can find something before something finds us.
I'll take the lead if I need to. I have dark vision.
Don't go behind him.
I'll stay back with Claudia.
Which way do you like to go? Which way can we go? Just like before, there's a straight path and then a left and right.
There's a trail of blood.
Trail of blood goes to the right.
I want to ask Claudia if she knows this second floor.
No, not exactly. I mean, I've been on this floor before, but, just near the lift, really.
Yuriel, follow behind me so we can track. Yeah, I'll just walk forward, I guess. So there's an antechamber we opened up to in the antechamber. Let's go left first.
Is that where the blood's going?
No. That's opposite side of the flood.
You wouldn't want to follow, like, the distinct trail?
I don't see it.
What are you talking about? I pointed out.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. As you say that you want to go left, I like nudge you and point down and say, actually, this looks like maybe the way we should go.
We still have my little blue subway signs.
I'll lead the way down the right path then. That way.
You might go towards the blood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do you want to do your light situation here?
Are you trailing them to where
Yeah, I would
like,
kind
quiet
of-
path in front of us?
Yeah. Probably keep, like, 3 in front of us, 1 behind us. Because I keep them within 30 feet, 60 feet of me.
Okay, how far out do you make the furthest one go?
It's 120 divided by 3, so about for every 30 feet there is, so 30, 60, 90 feet in front of us. This is just
30 feet of light?
Yeah, it extends up to 120 feet. The range is 120 feet, and they can move
Not the
60
lights.
feet.
No, not the light.
Oh, no, it's 10 feet of dim light.
So 30 feet ahead?
Okay, so you send these little globules out, and you notice as you do that the corners and the floors are lined with strands of spiderweb. And that's just kind of what you see as you go down there. You don't see any creature. You see the blood trail kind of goes, but it almost gets lost in the way the light hits these crisscrossing patterns of spider silk.
I think there could be spiders down here.
Spiders. Why is it always spiders?
I'll walk that said weapon at the ready.
Keep going.
Yeah, I take my bow out.
Get my book and I'm good. I don't have fireball, but got a fucking fireball ready if I would've.
I sort of loosen the grip on my warhammer from two-handed to one-handed and pull out my shield and make my way towards the front of the group with Uriel.
All right, so you guys move forward into this corridor that looks, as much like the others as you've seen. There's this long 15 by 15 corridor with these small 5-foot tunnels that go along the right side wall. You see that this spider silk is kind of dragged along the floor mostly and falls up into the tunnels, kind of piled up into the corners where the wall meets the floor. I wouldn't say that the entire area is wreathed in silk, but there is silk present.
Do these caves look as developed as the ones above the floor above us?
More or less, their walls are done and their supports are up. They just haven't put the mine rails in.
Possibly, maybe a little bit difficult, but I'll try. I'm gonna try and follow the trail.
You gonna make a survival?
22.
Easy enough. You follow the trail of blood into the tunnels, and it leads up to the second little 5-foot corridor in that hallway. And you follow it in, and you see that there's more spiderweb present here, and it trails out and goes all the way to the end. It's about, if you keep going, it's about 80 feet down the hallway.
I'll follow.
And then eventually goes to the end, and you lose the blood trail, but you see you're standing right beneath a shaft that leads up, straight up. More or less straight up.
This seems familiar. I harken back to just yesterday, seeing Krisk get eaten alive almost.
How wide is the shaft?
About 5 foot.
Say,
Not just be the shaft that I just looked down.
shoot a
That or one similar. You notice the multiple holes.
cast light on one of Uriel's arrows.
Okay.
You shoot an arrow straight up.
Shoot it straight up.
So you pull back and it shoots straight up and sticks into the ceiling about 70 feet up.
Does it end inside the hole, or does it go into and spread out its light? It hit another shaft.
It's hard to see. All that you can see illuminated through the shaft, you see is light. And the area around the arrow where it's stuck is smooth carved stone.
That's probably the chamber.
Probably just confusion or.
Well, we established that.
Yeah. Okay.
So onward. Easier saying.
But yeah, the blood trail seems to end at the bottom of that hole. It doesn't go up the wall or anything.
Is there more a hole beneath us?
No.
Dead end.
I think I know what happened,
He went up and then he went down.
but maybe with Claudia's members, maybe it drug them down. They had no need of the lift because they were brought to the second floor.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Yeah,
Maybe this trail wasn't leading in, maybe it was leading out.
Maybe the crew is fine.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
No,
Let's hurry.
not saying anything.
Well, yeah, you're in the hallway with Claudia still.
Okay, so double back.
Let's go back.
Well, she looks at you left. And are they in there?
No signs of them.
Portion
I don't like this.
seems like that comes down to where the hole above was. Possible the lift was left up because whoever's blood trail that is was dragged down through the hole.
Maybe is there anybody underneath the lift that we didn't notice?
I hope not.
But crushed by the elevator.
I say, Claudia.
She goes, "Oh hell!" She walks over to the lift and she like cranks it up about 2 feet.
And
Is there anybody down there?
I'll be looking.
Make a perception check.
It's a 4.
Now there's no corpses underneath the lift.
Do you know if his mind goes any deeper, Claudia? Or are we at the deepest level?
No, this is pretty much all the end of the operation.
Let's clear these tunnels.
I mean, it took a long time just to dig all this out.
Let's spread out.
That's what we got.
Did we go through to the very end of that?
You guys have only gone through one of the 3 side
Yeah,
tunnels.
but to the end of that side tunnel.
Yeah, did we go to the...
Yes.
More or less, yeah. I mean, you guys went into the second passage in there, so there was more tunnel, but you just went through that one tunnel.
Were we able to see the end of the tunnel from where we were at?
Just like before, there's more side passages you haven't looked down.
This is probably a huge ass strip mine too. So one, this is gonna be a maze.
Passages.
Me and Claudia are gonna go left.
Which one do you go down, Krisk? Well, we'll just number them by the approach. There's 5 tunnels. He went down the second one, and there's 3 more beyond that.
I'll go down the next one.
Okay, so there were.
What was the split up?
So that one's just like that one, except for you find a hole that leads straight up like 10 feet in. But the rest of the tunnel keeps going all the way to the end.
Okay, I'll come back. Search the next one.
The next one out, same thing, except for you see a hole that's about 60 feet in. So none of the holes are lined up, but they all seem to go straight up.
This is on the right side of the main chamber, correct?
Yeah, it's the right tunnel where the blood went down.
So there's a main chamber and a right side that's got tunnels all down it. And then the left side we haven't checked yet.
Yep, or the one straight across.
So me and Claudia and Asimir are going to check the left side.
All we're doing.
Yeah, I know.
Just throw my lights down it. Since you got.
So this one is otherwise the same as the other. It's got spider webs draped across it in places. But what you see that stands out the most is that there is a barricade of mine carts and crates that are piled up along in front of the 4th corridor.
I'll approach the barricade. I say, well, this is the only thing I've seen that looks out of place. Let's get this out of the way and see what's on the other side.
Spoilers.
And I say, grab that into the barrel and me and Asimir are
Okay.
lifting and carrying stuff.
Galil, give me an athletics check with advantage.
20.
20. Okay. So easily enough, with a strain and a screech, you guys start pulling this minecart back, and you see as you do, part of the barricade like collapses in on itself, and it reveals an opening in here, and you hear this panicked voice yelp out from the other side of it, just as kind of like, "Oh, the gods, fuck!" And then they say, "What? Shit! Who's there?"
Galil, Claudia, And Asimir.
I am Asimir.
Oh, hell, am I glad to see somebody from outside. Oh my god.
I guess we would hear that from the other tunnel.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys also would hear him scream.
We can't.
You guys head back over? Yeah,
Absolute. I dash.
So, you move the blockade and you see a terrified elf who is hiding among a makeshift camp in this little 5-foot corridor. It's real cramped. He's disheveled. It looks like he's been there long enough to resort to flaying rats alive and cooking them over an exposed lantern.
So are you wounded, friend?
He says, no, I'm just hiding.
Hiding from what?
Something's down here.
Where's the rest of your crew?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it got it. Fuck, I heard Tarek screaming.
So you're with Claudia and her crew.
Yeah, this is one of our crew.
What was his name again? Mulganzer.
Where is whatever's down here? We've been through these tunnels. We haven't seen anything.
I don't know. I've been hiding in here for days. I got away. It ambushed just as soon as we got here. Monsters, creature. And as he says creature, you guys all begin to hear from behind you whispering and clicking. You hear that whispering and clicking again. And someone in Elvish saying, I'm late. I'm too late. And that is where we're going to end our session.
Oh,
Demons.
I'm late. I'm too late for a very important day.
He said someone in Elvish, so it was probably a dude, Organzer, who's with us. Name only a mother could love.
It's a proud.
That's the guy we found in SC.
Yeah, Mulganzer was the crewman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. If you like what we do, please leave a review. It really helps us out. And we'll see y'all next time.
Fucking to this. You look. It's the rat, okay? Rat.
So come raise your glass to the heroes so bold in Persephone's Tavern, where legends are told.
It's the end of the show, which means it's time to take a look at our bounty board. This week we have Radical Toaster, Krinko, Poin Sucks at Games, 3 kobolds in a trench coat wanted for selling illegal flying potions at the gate to Dragon's Breath, asking for 50 gold pieces per kobold upon capture, plus a 50 gold bonus if you can get the set. That's all this week, but a humble thanks to all of our patrons for their continued support. If you would like to support the show and hear your name on the bounty board, find us at patreon.com/Persephones Tavern to learn more. Thanks guys, see you next time.